predictable.
All right, in theory, live. And now I can't sit down. Hi, can I have my seat back? Oh, I end up crushing one of you if you're not careful.
Oh, and in theory, my phone went back to the lock screen.
It's like I gotta turn all the sound down.
There it is.
There it is, and I just got the email.
Woo! It's all coming together.
Yeah, it's all coming together. Oh my God,
Yes.
Today was a day at work. Like, it was just a complete show. I can't say.
I got
a couple minutes.
Seconds.
Yeah, I got a minute before I can say what kind of show it was. But I'm pretty sure you can follow along at home.
Was it a cluster of trucks?
Yes. Fluster of clucks. I was asked to help with a ticket. Mike was like, hey, I forgot to do this. Can you call this person and see if they still need help? I'm like, yeah, more than happy to. Wait, I don't have the ticket. He'd sent me a link to the ticket in chat. And I'm like, and he was already on the phone with someone else. And so I'm sitting here going, how do I reach out to this person? It's not. And I'm like, oh, because you already sent me the ticket. The ticket for Cusco. Cusco's ticket. The ticket for... and then I just started turning it into the ticket for me, that I need to call the person. And he just like kind of peers over the corner of the desk. He's like, you all right? Like, he's on the phone and he just kind of like, you all right? I'm like, it's a day. I've had a bit of a morning. So yeah, that was my. Just when you said that, and then I forget what I was talking to Libet about, but she made the why do we even have that? She was talking about they were setting up a VPN for a client, and it's like it's supposed to be 2 button presses, but apparently she did it with just one. It's like why do we? What's the second button for? Why do we even have that button?
Why do we even have a second lever?
So this is Shadow Hearts. Why do I not have chat? There's chat. It came back. This is a game set in World War I think. It's been a long time. Devin played this when we lived together. And I watched him play it. And I just had so many questions. Because everything about the game, and it's got a rumble feature. My controller's buzzing. There's a bit in the game where the main character is stabbed by something called the Holy Mistletoe, and it has the power to destroy your soul. One of the characters...
Why? Okay, why is there a early 20th century Balder? Because that's what it is. If you're getting stabbed with Holy Mistletoe and it fucks you up. It's been.
We can say fuck. We can say fuck. It was a shit show for those of you who couldn't follow at home. If I had the ability to do like real-time graphics, I'd have the word shit show just start flashing at the bottom of the screen. But like, so there's a character in this game who's a vampire, who's also a wrestler, who beats people with a locker. That is his weapon. It is a giant, like, 6-foot locker. This whole game is just weird. It's all very, like, gothic, psychic noir. Like, that guy, his head snapped in a direction that's not supposed to snap.
Yeah, I don't think he's okay.
No, he's gonna take a little nap now. Yes, the gun obviously worked the last time, so the pistol will work better.
It's you.
Yes, Roger Bacon. I'm honored that you remember me so well.
We also don't know what's happening in this because I don't have the volume turned up here.
So, do you
So-
remember the show Ghost Rider?
Yes.
Except murderous.
So this is the main character that we get to play as. He starts
The
off with the
Rude
name
Hero.
Rude Hero. Because
You
he's
know,
kind of a dick.
same.
So the interesting thing about this game is you see that circle?
Mm-hmm.
When you get into combat, that's your action meter. There's basically a clock hand that spins around it, and there's sections of the wheel that are different colored, and then smaller sections of that.
Mm-hmm.
So like, depending on the attack you use, there'll be like 3 or 4 sections active with like a tiny sliver at the very end of it or the very beginning of it, that if you can time it perfectly to hit, that's your to hit and your criticals. And I'm like, this was a really neat system. Too bad the story was batshit crazy. So yeah, it's one of those, like, it's really interesting. I really liked it. I wish this system were in another game. But everything that you deal with in the game is also, there's a series that I don't play, but Culex plays it, called the Shin Megami Tensei games, or the Persona games.
Yeah.
Both of those series are kind of the same. They're interconnected. It's weird. One of the games involves people shooting themselves in the head to release demons.
Like,
They can release demons that's how they summon demons. There's a creature in all of those games called Mara, which kind of pisses me off because that's what people shorten my name to, because I go by Marauder on everything online. They say Mara. I'm like, no, I am not the penis chariot, because that's what it is. It's a penis chariot. It is a chariot being dragged by a penis. That's what it is. And it is a staple in that fucking series.
getting a little heated. Do you need to make a documentary series about it?
I apparently do. And so, like, everything in these games are just, like, weird. So, like, little gremlins with scythes. That's what we're fighting right now.
I mean, I really would like a scythe.
You know,
I feel like I'm kind of built like the gremlin.
So I played Final Fantasy XI, and I talk about this often. Javier, I played a Dark Knight. The two main weapons a Dark Knight could use is a great sword and a scythe. There's a guy on Etsy who is doing 3D prints of the legendary weapons from Final Fantasy XI, and one of them that he's doing is the scythe. I cannot tell you how many times I've almost spent $200 on a giant hunk of plastic that looks vaguely like a scythe. Like, I have just tried so hard to be like, no, I don't need to buy it. I don't need to buy it. I don't need this. Yes, it's the SpongeBob. I need this.
I don't need it.
I reached out to him and asked him, like, how, because, like, the Etsy listing's not very in-depth, and I'm like, do you need any additional pieces? He's like, you can reinforce it with, like, a dowel rod, but it can self-connect if it's just going to be for a display piece, but if you're going to use it for cosplay, it does have a section that you can reinforce the handle. And I'm like, okay, I really like it. Does it come pre-painted? He's like, I can do the painting. It costs this much extra. I'm like, well, I never got that weapon personally, but I was a Dark Knight main, so, like, it means a lot. He's like, oh, well, if you're Dark Knight main, I'm also working on the Great Sword. I don't have a a printable version of it yet, but that's the next one I'm working on. I'm like, you son of a bitch. You're enticing me with your wiles.
Can you reinforce with a Balrog? Hey, Light. What's up? Come here, buddy. Come here.
He's like, nope, I'm gonna run.
Dude, that was unnecessary.
This guy's name is Roger Bacon. The creepy guy with the hat and the little demon.
I feel like maybe there was something missing in terms of naming conventions that just was not clearly communicated.
It kind of fits this game, like, to a T. Everything about this is just a weird game. And, like, I am not going to win this fight at all. Like, I'm actually supposed to lose this fight. Because he's just gonna ramp up and...
Keep trying to murder your ass?
Yeah. I'm doing, like, 7 points of damage with my drop kick. And he's just like... The Book of Revelation! And God said, fuck you!
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I mean...
fuck. Amber and I were coming home from bowling over the weekend, and she said something about how salty she was. We both bowled really shitty. I've started bowling because that's something that a normal 40-year-old man does.
I mean, yes.
Kind of. Yeah, kind of. But she was talking about
Way
how...
to get more suburban.
Wow, I couldn't be any more white if I tried. Actually, the sad thing is, like...
I haven't taken up golf yet, so...
Mike keeps trying to get me. That's what he does. Mike golfs. But, like, she was talking about how salty she was, about how shitty we played, and I made a comment about, she was like, no one's as salty as me. I'm like, Lot's wife. And she goes, okay, that's the exception. And I just started laughing because I'm like, okay, I love that you got that reference. I love that you got that, because so, like... I've been in relationships with people who would not have gotten that reference.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I have no idea. I'm also very salty tonight myself.
Same.
It's been a day.
Yeah. Mine even really wasn't that bad. It just, like... I have so little steam right now, and I'm very glad that I don't have to work again until Monday.
If you are rich, you golf. If you aren't, you bowl.
Yeah.
Why did you square up with an old gentleman on a train? You know, honestly, I have no idea why I'm fighting an old guy on top of a train. This story makes about as much sense as a cocaine-induced bender.
Guessing he's loosely related to John Hamm. Sorry.
Like, this is like an alternate telling of, like, what if World War I had creepy occult undertones even more so than it already did, and the main character's kind of an unlikable dick. So, like,
And you can tell, like, this was 20 years ago, because...
Yes, this game...
The uncanny valley effect is, like, so bad.
This game came out in 2001. I was still in high school. That is an uncomfortable statement to make. Some newer games just start you maxed out in the intro, then puts you in the default stats for the... Honestly, I'm standing completely still and the whole... conditions more menacing. I mean, yeah. World map. By pressing the square button, we can go to the map. So the Trans-Siberian Express is where we just were. We're going to go to the plains.
Because a fight on top of a train has to be on the Trans-Siberian Express.
Well, I think they just couldn't use the name the Orient Express because I'm pretty sure that's trademarked.
Yeah.
So, like, they really wanted to do... But, like, I was trying to think of, like, what kind of genre is this game? And I'm like, alternate history, gothic, noir, occult.
Yeah, yeah.
And the more I kind of, like, I just kept adding words to it. I'm like, it's getting more confusing, but it's becoming more accurate.
That as much as I've seen so far, that fits. Oh no.
Cirque was 5. Atelier was 9.
I was in college.
I graduated in 2002, so 2001, depending on the time of year, I was either junior or senior.
Okay, that's fair. I was either a senior in high school or a freshman in college, depending on the time of year. But still...
Like, I don't know the month this game came out. I just know the release date was 2001. So, like, I'm not going to sit here and go all mathematics on it.
So, if I was a freshman in college and this was 23 years ago, you can do that math.
Light was born in 2002. You were born when I graduated high school. Fuck, I'm old.
Shut it.
You shut your mouth. Speaking of things that are old, do you remember the cloak with the floating disembodied head of Robert Mitchum? Because that's one of the things. It's like, shut your mouth. You shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Man, the internet. Mm-hmm. I was telling Libet, shut up, whippersnapper. I was telling Libet that I found a documentary the other day about Homestar Runner.
What?
Do you know that Homestar Runner started off as a children's book?
No.
Even before the website, it's the creators...
Strong Bad is not for children.
Strong Bad is not for children. But it started off as a children's book called The Homestar Runner. And, like, proto-versions of a lot of the characters, including the Poopsmith, was in the children's book. And they're like, apparently it's come full circle because apparently they've done another children's book after becoming super popular. So it's like, it's just kind of come full circle. But, like, it was an interesting, like, discussion of the rise of Homestar, not necessarily fall of Homestar Runner, because the creators of Homestar Runner have gone on to be writers on amazing shows like Gravity Falls, Steven Universe, and shit like that. So it's like, they've done a bunch of other really...
Yeah.
And they've never really stopped. Like, Homestar Runner still gets updates. It's not as prevalent as it was in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Strong Bad still checks his email sometimes.
Penn graduated college in 2002. So you're only 4 years older than I am. Which is Libet's age. Because Jess is 2 years older than me, and Libet's 2 years older than Jess. Mm-hmm. I'm the baby. And I'm still old as fuck.
Shut it.
Rowan, my son, there you go. You're gonna get Corporal Cuddles.
No, this is happening.
This is happening.
Except your feet.
Say hi to the internet. He's like, no.
Hello, internet. Come here.
All right, I do not need now hiring for the Virginia Veterans Association.
Because of your horse.
If it weren't for my horse, I wouldn't have spent that year in college. Man, I remember watching that stand-up special when it first aired.
I know.
And now Lewis Black is on his final tour.
That is...
He's coming to DPAC, and I'm like, I kind of want to get tickets for it, but I also know that he's like, I don't know if he's doing the tour because he really wants to, or if it's just like I'm doing one last tour before I. But like, because I remember the last time I went to see him, it was like he was a little ragged. The current
it was
world.
Also like later in his tour, talking about the same shit going on in the world.
Yeah.
Which would leave me a little ragged also.
Yeah, he was like, you could tell he was
He was close to his wit's end, I think.
Danny Glover's character in Lethal, I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah.
That was, if you could have that phrase as a human being, that was Lewis Black on stage for that. So I'm like, I feel like I want to...
1 year away from retire.
I want to see him, but I also, like, I don't want to be like, I don't want to encourage this madness. Like, I want him, I just want him to get rest. Like, I kind of wish he wasn't doing the last, I was just like, just retire. You've earned it.
Yeah. If you want to, if you really, really want to, do one more, like, special. It's a one-time thing, and then take a nap.
Yeah.
Go get the early bird special at IHOP, where you can drink the boysenberry to take the edge off the coffee.
When did they add midstream ads to YouTube? 2 years ago. 2 or 3 years ago. It's been a thing that I've had to activate or deactivate several times.
But they are getting more frequent, though. The ads.
And part of it is because it's the election cycle. Like, half the ads that I get are all political because people are paying YouTube more money to run more ads. So they're like, I watched a 12-minute video yesterday that had 6 ads. And I'm like, there's a reason why I don't watch without ad blocker.
Yeah.
Like, I don't watch the TV app for YouTube anymore. I just watch on my computer because ad blocker. I can stop half of these. Can't stop all of them.
No.
Smash Ultimate is complete. Go take a nap. Yeah. Like, I felt the need to say that to Sakurai as well. It's like, stop. Go sleep.
Hey, that was your advice for me today.
It was.
Go home, get some rest. I'm trying. I did. I took like a 2-hour nap. And I woke up and I wanted more nap.
Alright, I'm fighting 2 bats and a dog. Vampire bat and wolf. Have you ever punched a bat? I have. I haven't, actually.
So I think there is a bat that likes to hang out on my reef since I have my porch light on all the time, and there are plenty of bugs. It's a great scheme for a bat. Like, to just set up is just there. I didn't realize that it was there though, and I went to unlock my door last night when I got home from choir, and right at my head I hear. I was like, oh my god, this shit. Yeah, so I think I have a little bat friend, because that was definitely bat wings, not bird wings. So I need to be aware of that this evening so I don't piss myself on my front stoop.
Alright, I can't seem to activate whatever those things are. Can I... Is there something over here that I can interact with?
Sluice. A fun word that stops sounding like a word very quickly.
Yeah, sluice does not sound... She whacked it with... Yes. Alice is like a stereotypical damsel in distress character. She's just going to walk up and...
I mean, I also like beating people with knowledge.
I made a joke when I was watching Devin play this that was, I think I've mentioned this on the live stream. There was a guy that I went to school with. The first time I saw him, he was running through the halls of the biology book on his face, screaming that it's eating his face, and he was bashing his head against the lockers trying to get it off. That was the first time I met him. Senior year, we had an English class together, and there was a girl in the class who had a lot of very negative rumors about her promiscuity, and she was, I mean, rumors aside, she was just a pain. Like, I hated dealing with her, because everything about her just pissed me off. Rumors aside, like, I don't care if she sucked every dick on the football team. Don't care. I do care that you say stupid, ignorant things about racism, classism, sexism. Like, I do care about those things. And those are the things that she said. Often. And at one point...
Somebody got a racist daddy.
And she was Asian, which was...
Yeah.
Yeah. She said something in class, and Daryl, the biology book guy, got offended at what she said. I forget what she said. I don't, like, the whole lead up to this was a blur, because it just, the whole thing. I'm in this class with Daryl, and Daryl and I we weren't super close friends, but we were acquaintances. We were both in the theater department. And I had a friend, Justin, and a friend named Jeremy. And I was actually friends with my ex-girlfriend's younger sister, who was in that same class with me. Her name was Olivia. And we were all in this class, and the unliked girl said something, and Daryl just pops up, grabs a Bible off the desk, because the class that we were having English in also doubled as the AP English class, and they were doing like biblical comparisons. And so he just grabs it and smacks her in the back of the head and says, "Thou shalt not be a slut." And everyone just stopped. Like, you could hear a fucking pin drop. Because it's like, there was talking, there was discussion going on amongst several students and the teacher. The teacher was trying to teach, and he just up and does, and everyone's just like, it was that scene from Family Guy where Stewie just goes,
Yeah.
and like the teacher did not like her, but she also didn't like Daryl. Because Daryl was a distract, as the insurance company likes to call it, an attractive nuisance. And oh, what I have to. I have to apparently press in a certain. I gotta let me do this, and then I will figure. I'll do the story. Oh, I have.
What the shit?
This is fun, but she had no idea what to do with. Like, none of us did.
Yeah.
This fucking handle.
Thought you were about to say "Thou shalt not pass." I mean, it would be less slut shamey, but
There we go. finally got it off. That's what she
You
said.
finally got off your sluice.
I...
How's your sluice handle?
One handle is enough. Oh, is it? Oh God, giant
no,
spiders.
No. I don't like it.
I love how derpy the dog looks.
It looks like a mangy lassie.
I mean, it is a game from 2001, as we've covered. But yeah. White magic. Why has it got to be?
Oh my God, I went to take out the trash on Monday morning and I was looking down because I had just squished in the yard after all of the rain. So I was like, ew, and I did not look up, and I walked face first into a giant spider web. And I immediately ran back inside and got in the shower. No, get it off.
Get it off me.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Get your ass in the shower right now.
Eventually went back to buying DVDs and Blu-rays a lot cheaper. I mean, I
Physical media is forever.
buy laser. I was about to say, like, I buy games. I haven't bought shows in a while, but there's also not been a lot of shows that I've really liked that have been available on DVD.
I have one on my wish list, not because there aren't other ones that I want. It's just the one that I ran across first. Battlestar Galactica. It's like nothing new. Just some of my old favorite shows. I don't really watch a whole lot of new stuff. Although, if I can get Owl House on DVD, I will do it because I'm watching it a second time now.
Like, there's a couple of, like, anime that I would like on DVD, but they're not finished, so I wouldn't want to get them now.
Did you notice that he has a little bit of blush? What's that?
So, also, tomorrow is Jess's birthday. So say happy birthday to Jess. But I got Jess a Mothman plushie.
He's so cute.
Because Mothman is their boyfriend, and
He's a very gentle and caring lover. This is the second Mothman that Chris has got me there. If the trend continues, eventually I'll end up with a 6-foot Mothman that I can cuddle with in bed.
Well, shit, now I've got a goal. There was a larger version of that. He was about yay big. But he was also like $75, and I feel like you would have probably been mad at me if I bought that one.
I'd probably be mad at you for a 6-foot tall one also. So, like, but it's really good for the bit.
I mean, yes, I think you wouldn't have a problem with it until the one day that you came home and it was late and like one of the lights were off and you just saw a 6-foot tall shadowy figure in your house and freaked the fuck out.
Yeah, because I've already done that with the cactus. I have it up on a box, so instead of being like 3 foot, it is closer to my height. It's still shorter than me, but it's closer. And I had forgotten that I put it up in the window with the Halloween stuff, and I walked out one morning to make myself coffee and almost peed myself because I thought there was somebody standing at the window. Thank you guys. Yeah. So I already posted on Facebook. It's public knowledge anyway. So I was talking to my doctor. I had a follow-up visit last week, and we were talking about whether or not it was time for a physical, like neither of us could remember. And I, at one point, managed to use the phrase commit to the bit while talking about masturbation.
I saw that and I was like, I have so many questions.
Yeah. It was, I'm not going to go into details, but it was entertaining. His Dr. Ruff was like, yeah, so what exactly does, like, commit to the bit like,
entail in this situation?
So, yeah. Because it turns out I end up, like, triggering a miniature period about it, and that sucks, so I don't.
Feed it a sweater for me. Death Emperor. Oh God, he's.
Thanks, everybody. Yeah, wow. I'm trying to figure out what exactly the aesthetic they were going for was, besides just creepy.
Creepy. What's going on? I'm in a creepy graveyard.
Thanks, everybody. Yeah, isn't it? It's so cute. So cute.
Look at his little face.
And there's magnets in the wings, so he's like, you know, getting some rest, or he's warning you about a dire emergency and trying to save your life.
We believe in Mothman in this house.
That we do. Extra halitosis. Nice.
Now I'm all depressed because I'm dead.
I mean, just watch what we would do in the shadows. I'll give you a few ideas. There is still fun to be had after death. I'm going for a look that says dead, but delicious.
I became a vampire to drink blood and fuck.
That is uncomfortable. Yeah.
Moon howl.
Something with arms that long looking at you going is somehow like extra creepy.
I can turn into Death Emperor myself. So I can turn into that creepy thing. Say, what you gonna do, Billy?
The physics are not sound.
You ever kick a wolf man whose arms are 6 feet long? That's what it feels like to drive New Ford at 550.
That's what it's like chewing 5 gum.
Alright, you want to do that? I'm going to turn into this guy. Because I can. Netflix Castlevania. Okay, Netflix Castlevania, that's a series that I'd kind of get behind. Drainwave.
Disembody.
Oh, that just turns me back into a person. Okay.
Okay.
Well,
That's Sure.
I'm gonna
Oh, hey guys, tomorrow's yard waste day.
kick him in the nards. He doesn't have any. Kick anyway.
He's a Balchinian.
Oh, God. You know, I loved the first Men in Black movie. The second Men in Black movie was just so weird.
I liked it. Although, fuck Rosario Dawson, but, like, I liked it.
What I want to know why they brought her in and got rid of the coroner from the first movie. She was a fun character.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
do you know what I like to do sometimes when it's really late? No. Like, how's the body? I got a great body, but she's got a real Queen of the Undead vibe going on.
I still haven't seen Men in Black International.
I've seen bits of it. I haven't seen the whole thing. I need to.
I don't have super high expectations for it. I try not to when it comes to like sequels of a movie that I like. But I will watch it because both of them are very hot.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm guessing I get to fight all these little weird elemental spirits, and then whatever the hell those floating things are that I'm guessing are going to talk to me because they're all faces.
Hee. No need to thank me. Sounds like you. Yeah, I had forgotten that it existed too until it came up on like the side screen on Roku trying to get you to watch different shit, and for some reason that popped up one day last week, and I was like, oh.
And I love that it's Chris Hemsworth and what's her name?
If you hadn't asked, I could have told you.
I'm because the joke is it's the actor and actress. It's Thor and Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Basically just being them. It's like they're playing themselves, but instead of being superheroes, now they're Men in Black. And I'm like, okay, this is.
I mean, I'm on board so far. Tessa Thompson.
Yes.
God.
Like, she was in Westworld. She was in.
She's in a whole bunch of shit
Yeah.
that I like, and I've watched interviews with her. I just could not.
Sometimes you just blank on a name. Alright, stop talking to creepy masks. Oh, okay, apparently I'm fighting creepy masks. Sure.
Yeah, sounds good.
Evil 4.
One.
I don't know what strike means. It doesn't show a number. So I'm like, is that more damage? Is that less? How much damage?
Who cares? They're not gonna have sex with you anyway. They're non-corporeal entities.
I mean,
Need to finish it up somehow.
But yeah, I'd probably buy Castlevania. I'm actually going to try to cosplay as Trevor at some point. Mostly because I just want to make the whip.
I know you do.
Ladies. No. But so like I liked Castlevania. The first season was just great. The second season was fucking amazing. The third and fourth seasons were a little dark. Like just a little little much.
I still haven't watched the fourth season.
And then Castlevania Nocturne, I really liked. I'm waiting for. Like they've already announced season 2, and it just fucking ended on an interesting note, and so, like, do you like Mothman? He is very unsure of what to do.
He
with
really
that.
is. That's his. I'm debating whether to get up and leave or to walk over there and slap you face.
Like, if this continues, I'm going to get up, and it's either to leave you and just avoid this nonsense, or it's to hit you.
Oh, yes, I've seen Ghostbusters. Oh my god, somebody put up the 2 statues as Halloween decorations in front of their house, and put I think it was on TikTok, put underneath of it the sound of the kid going, "Can I pet your dog? Can I pet that dog?" I almost lost it.
Okay, who brought the dog? I don't like Nocturne's big bad, like, yes, Dracula was the king of vampires, while there was a literal god of darkness in Russia. Well, okay, so in the Castlevania mythos, like, Dracula is a very powerful being, but he's still closer to humanity than anything else, which was kind of the thing. Because, like, Dracula enslaved death. Like, the spirit, like, they didn't really do it that well in the show because they had death as just kind of a thing that's like, I'm an elemental force and I'm trying to bring Dracula back in a weird, convoluted way. But, like, the Castlevania franchise has mentioned, like, deities that have been enslaved in in Symphony of the Night, one of the creatures you can find is Cthulhu. Like, like Cthulhu's just kind of hanging out. Just,
Chilling. Two duds. Two dudes.
Two duds.
Two
Chilling.
duds. I mean, you have to think, even the big bads have to have an off day every once in a while.
Yeah.
Two duds chilling in a hot tub.
But also, like, following a lot of the Castlevania lore, like, Carmilla would have actually been, like, technically stronger than Dracula. And and then, like, you had a vampire who was working for Carmilla, I forget her name, who had armor that let her walk in the sunlight. That, granted, was not in any of the games. God, stop giving me this fucking ad. I don't want to join the VA. Some of the games feels more like death is Dracula's best friend who crashes on the cat. That's true. It really does depend on the game.
Him and the wifey are having some arguments. Mind if I chill on the couch for a little bit?
But like that's actually what I really liked about Lament of Innocence, was talking about how Dracula came to be, because, you know, how did this one vampire become exceptionally powerful? And it's like, well, this one vampire was actually a person. So he's not a pure vampire, because like, and that's another thing, like they kind of get into in Castlevania, like you've got like vampire nobility that are pure blood vampires. Like none of you could really be pure blood vampires. You had to start as a person at some point, unless we're going with like Nosferatu was a completely separate species and you've never been human. But like Dracula was human. Like in Castlevania lore, Dracula was human. His name was Matthias. His wife died. He said, fuck God, I'm going to become immortal. And he thought the best way to do this is to kidnap his best friend's wife and have his best friend kill a vampire who had the power to control eternal night. And then he had a magic stone that could suck the vampire's soul into it, and then he had that vampire's soul and then the Stone of Eternal Night, and he was able to use both of those to control death. And he was like, I'm going to go kill God now. And then Leon Belmont, the first Belmont, was like, fuck you, chicken strips. And ended up making the vampire killer, which Matthias did not count on. Because, like, the whole thing was, there was an alchemist who was living in the cursed woods of this Eternal Night Castle, who couldn't leave, and, like, he was effectively immortal as well, because he was being kept alive by the vampire to help people who the vampire brought into the grounds just enough so that it would be sport for the vampire to hunt them. And he's like, I've got this magic whip. It's not at its full power, but maybe you can unlock it. And he does, by Leon killing his wife with the whip. Because the vampire bit his wife. And so she was going to turn no matter what. They couldn't stop that. But while she was still human, she's like, I could sacrifice myself if you kill me with the whip. My human soul will be bonded to it, and it will destroy the fuck out of vampires as a result. Because I'm willingly killing, because like that's a whole thing in a lot of vampire mythology. It's like if you willingly sacrifice, like, because that was the thing in like Hellsing, Pip, the French mercenary who had a thing for the big-tittied police girl. He willingly gave her some of his blood as he was dying, and so his soul kind of bonded with her instead of becoming enslaved like Alucard did. And so, like, she was like, if I give you my soul, this whip will fuck up a vampire. Any vampire. And so Leon Belmont's like, Matthias, you were my best friend, but you made me kill my wife because you thought I'd hate God with you? Dude, this is a little gay. And that's okay, but we could have made it a little gay in a less murdery way.
It's true.
And that's why Dracula's...
all you gotta do is ask.
That's why Dracula is super fucking powerful, because he used to be a person. He used a ton of occult knowledge and fucked over a lot of other people, including people that he claimed to love. And just, again, vampires and sacrifice, he became...
Leon, nah man, you're a douche. Yeah.
Where's the Devo X Castlevania crossover? Leon, come with me. After all, we're both now without girlfriends. I think more of the point with Nocturne than... So, it's the goddess of night, which is interesting because that was kind of the whole thing that Walter, who was the vampire that Leon ended up having to kill, who bit his wife, that Walter's soul was imprisoned for Matthias to become Dracula. That was his whole shtick of, he had a castle that was encased in eternal night. No one, like, you could only find the castle at night. You could never leave because it never became day until he died. And so, like, they're kind of leaning into this with Nocturne. And I'm like, okay, cool. You're taking, it sounds like you're taking a lot of, like, South American and Caribbean mythology and kind of putting that as the forefront for a lot of this, rather than, you know, sticking with, like, a lot of the Eurocentric mythos.
Which I'm down for. Like,
same. But, like, there's just always been a thing in Castlevania. It's like, it's really hard to say Dracula is, like, the big bad when the fucking Grim Reaper's standing right beside him. Like, I get, like...
2 duds
chilling in a hot tub. They are not 6 feet apart because they are a little gay. And that's okay.
It's really okay.
Who likes cannons?
It's good, even. Just be less murdery about it.
In fact, there's a whole surprisingly gay subplot in Nocturne involving a knight and Orlocks, who also in vampire mythology is the one true vampire. Orlocks was like Nosferatu, like that was his name.
Yeah.
Nosferatu, like, so like if anyone's going to be the most powerful vampire, it should be Orlocks, because he was the first. And he's a South American vampire lord, and he's hot looking, and also apparently super gay for this knight, which is a little surprising because the knight mentions at one point a vow of chastity, and then they get out of bed naked together, and I'm like...
I mean, wouldn't be the first person to break a vow.
I'm just wondering, like, are you saying it's a vow of chastity because you're never going to sleep with a woman, and your loophole is you're gay, and that's how you're getting around? Because, like, if so...
Also possible.
Props to you for gaming the system. Like, I, you know, sure.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's awesome.
I do love that I'm sitting here playing a game that is so fucking ridiculous, and yet I'm not really talking about it. I'm talking about the queerness of Castlevania.
Do it. I'm definitely here for...
I just got a Holy Mother bust. What?
I have questions.
It cures confusion. The fuck it does. I've never been more confused by busts. They are my fucking kryptonite. Someone was talking to me about the whole big titty goth girlfriend thing, and I'm like, yeah, I guess.
Or he could be going for Oathbreaker Paladin. He could.
Oathbreaker Paladin, yeah. We're here. It looks like we'll be able to get food and a place to rest, except for the fact that this place obviously has a closed gate covered in warding talismans. I don't think they want anyone to come in. Especially not someone who can turn into a fucking demon.
Probably not. I think you're probably going to try to get in anyway.
And there's children.
Yellow-eyed child, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
That's jaundice, and you need to be in the hospital.
You, sir, have a liver disease and a red-eyed child.
That's just pink eye, and you need to wash your hands after you poop.
Turn the page, wash your hands. Turn the page, wash your hands. Man, I feel like this is the weirdest fucking live stream ever.
It's really not, though.
It's not. Yeah, we have. Yeah, she's totally a girl, right? Nice and soft. Oh, that's unsettling to hear from a child. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my... Man, you
Now,
really
I
had
know
to...
that movie came out before this game. So
Oh,
that's just plagiarism.
right? There's a bit in Panzer Dragoon Saga. It's the RPG game of Panzer Dragoon that I've got. It's one of my rarest, most expensive games. There is a bit in the localization where if you're in one of the towns, you can go, and if you look at a table in a bar at the right angle, it'll pop up a little thing that you can interact with it. And it says, carved in the table, "Oh my God, they killed Kenny, you bastards." And I'm just like, yeah,
Yeah, that's happening apparently.
yeah. Are you eating one of your strawberry candies?
I am. My old people.
So I didn't have time to make it, but I almost did this for you. I almost bought some vodka and some blue raspberry Big League Chew. But then I started thinking, I think Jess would probably like to put, a whole bunch of these strawberry candies in some vodka or some gin or something.
This would be good in some vodka, like the Pinnacle Whipped. Has some nice strawberries and green vodka.
Yeah, I was showing Jess there's a guy on YouTube. I don't remember his name, but he talks about he's going to put something in alcohol for at least a week or until
something interesting happens.
Yeah. And Jess was like, fuck, if I had known people actually wanted to see this type of... I could have been doing this for years.
I could, because as Sophie Hunter puts it, I hold grudges like I hold my liquor. Pretty fucking well.
Doko Ryan, yes. That's the name. And they explained that she died in the explosion, but her powers to travel through dreams, and she's able to revive because John Kent kept thinking about her in her dream. Did you not know that? Okay. Nobody understands the words that are coming out of your mouth. I just looked at the stream instead of the chat, and why is this thing something about a juicy woman? I often ask the same question.
I almost reached out and pet Mothman because for half a second I thought it was Rowan. Who was sitting right there, like the line of sight, it works, but yeah.
Hey, a save point. Data. Save.
So I went to work yesterday. I was working a late afternoon shift. I was scheduled 4:30 to 7. Now right now my schedule alternates between my role being absentee ballot boardroom, which is where we are working on actually putting the absentee ballots in the envelope and sending them out. Last night it was absentee ballots board meeting. And I did not realize what a significant role change that was going to be. And it was live streamed. You can actually, like, if you're desperate to see me sitting still at the Board of Elections, you can. We were there to, towards the end, we were separating the incoming ballots that were going to go through the machine to be tabulated. We don't run the reports. We don't know who voted for what. It's just in the machine. And separating them from the rest of the packet. But before that, it was duplication. So for our military service members, they have the option to securely vote online. And then we take the sheet and make sure that that actually gets transferred over to the ballot that goes through the machine. And it's a bipartisan committee that looks over this. The Board of Elections approves it. Like, there's a whole lot of oversight going on. But we only had one ballot to do that with last night, so we were sitting there. The board meeting didn't start until 5:30, so we sat there for an hour already, not having anything to do. We didn't get that first ballot until 6:30, so that's 2 hours sitting there with nothing to do. And then we finally get to the separating and stuff, go to the machine or whatever. And I end up staying there until 8:30. Choir practice started at 7. So I got to be at choir practice for all of 15 minutes last night.
I'm sorry.
But I did at least get to turn in my sizing for my uniforms and talk to the director about... I'm cobbling together a more gender-neutral kind of performance outfit because I don't... Yeah. Anyway. So that was my night, and then leading into today, it was I had to go to a doctor's appointment, and I was already full of a whole lot of I don't give a fuck. So, should have been down here from there.
These people are cannibals, and this is apparently where they throw their leftovers.
No. Can use them for crafts, guys.
Nobody drinks out of the skulls of their enemies anymore. The black tortoise god that was enshrined here. Humans defied him and built the shrine. Okay. Oh, so they're not actually people. These are some sort of demons.
I wouldn't turn your back on that guy.
Yeah. How about we just, like, I've had no qualms
Just
punching
leave.
other old guys. How about we punch this old guy? Also, her skirt is... It flares in weird ways, and...
So I will never buy one because they're too expensive. But I always look at the Veritas kilt. And now they have a micro kilt. It covers more than that. But yes, there's a micro kilt.
Hi, Axis, yes. You love the phone.
No, I love you. Just trying to get your attention.
You gonna lay back down? I'm gonna poke you. I'm gonna poke you first. Hi.
Just struggling over.
You were just on the struggle bus trying to get attention and trying to get pats, aren't you? Just on the struggle bus. I wouldn't poke you in the ear if you didn't move your head so weirdly. Oh gosh, stop with the juicy. You know what her dress reminds me of? The maid from Clue.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the thigh highs. Like, that's...
Yeah. I mean... maybe she at least has bloopers on. I can't tell. I don't really want to look close enough to tell. I've been looking at so much like costuming stuff and whatever that I keep getting ads for a place that all they do is fancy, often big titty goth girlfriend type bloomers. That's all they do. Like, okay.
That's some targeted ads right there.
Look. Sometimes I want to be femme.
I guess it's meant to be incense, but it looks like she's not. Yeah, the spikes look a little, like that looks like blood, and then the creepy children run like that's just.
Yeah. Yeah, you are. Which is why you probably should have left.
Because I can turn into a demon and knock the door. Like I can break the door down. Like I have supernatural powers. Why am I not anxious? Because I could probably kill everyone here. We just pretended to be asleep. Yeah. Yeah, you're just kind of fucked, kids.
You're bad at decision making. Just get it over with.
Oh, that's a lot of blood. Oh, God. Hellcat. Exorcist arrow. Okay, that kind of hurt a little bit. And they beat you with the power of knowledge for very little damage. Rowan, what are you doing? What are you doing,
You
son?
could come over here and I could mistake you out of the corner of my eye and think that you're Mothman and pick you up. Hey, buddy.
Fuck. Missed. I don't know what SP is.
Yeah.
She's got none of it. Oh, well, they're both dead.
You killed children.
You know, it's not the first child I've killed. It's not going to be the last.
That poor jaundice kid looked pretty rough already anyway. And the red-eyed kid shouldn't be running around with poop hands, so really I'm just saving everyone from an outbreak.
Yeah, I'm just preventing a pink eye outbreak. Conjunctivitis is nothing to laugh at.
There was one day the Silent Beach Club took an overnight trip to Austin to go to the Texas School of the Deaf for their homecoming game. And I woke up that morning after sleeping in a strange hotel room with my eye just swollen and crusted shut, and I was like, I washed my hands. Why? Why do I have pink eye? And everybody was like, did you try flushing it? I was like, no, I just woke up this way and panicked. It was just allergies, but it felt like conjunctivitis. I've had it once in first grade. There was outbreak in our school.
Rowan, do you want to lay down? Oh no, they back attacked me.
Can I pet that dog?
Oh, fucking really? How many attacks are you gonna get? Because I'm gonna fucking die.
Yeah, you're rough shape.
There we go. Fucking
Jesus.
really? Alright, heal. Seriously, semi Lovecraftian vibe. Yeah, this game is like a gothic horror. Like it is meant to be a little on the dark side. Fuck. Stop with that fucking ability.
Yeah,
Can
that
you
is-
do anything else? Yo, dog. Alright, I don't necessarily need to cure. Fuck. I do, however, need to beat him with a book. I guess that's the only fucking ability he's got. Sure.
Something can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Alright, well at least it's just the dog. I can... Oh, he does have another attack. You bastard.
You missed it. You son of a bitch. I got jokes about the same level as a 10-year-old, but I got them.
I mean, I've met some pretty witty 10-year-olds. Alright, beat that dog. There we go. That fight was way more frustrating than it needed to be. Alright, so apparently I can't leave. But I got an angel's feather. Alright, I guess we gotta go fight the Genbu turtle. Let's save it, because, you know, apparently I'm a hair's breadth away from dying at any given moment. I mean, granted, the stream we're getting close to the end, but at the same time, I don't want it to be at a game over if I can avoid it. What have you done to my beloved children? I've killed a lot of them. Put the kitties to sleep permanently.
Oh, my joke was better than that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, let's destroy the shrine. Made this fence to keep one. Okay, well. Well, if I gotta kill you, I've already killed once today. I'm. She must be somewhere in the village. Let's go find her.
In the village covered with red mist.
Yeah.
That's always very welcoming. Oh, yay. Okay, so it's a slug centaur wearing Michael Jackson's jacket from Thriller.
'Cause this is Thriller.
Okay, it looks less that way up close, but
Yeah,
all you can
from
see
a
is that
distance.
zipper. Yeah.
Oh, well, shit, she's confused. Which is not good, because she's my healer. And she's poisoned. Do I get
You
multiple
fuckers.
stat? Oh, no. You only get one, so you messed that up by overriding the confusion with poison. SP drains per turn according to the wiki or by some enemies.
Yeah, it does kind of look like Dancing Monkey. Excuse me.
Oh, he's dead. Haha, get it? Heal him so that he's not half dead again. Toss him some sparkles.
I mean, I'm a big fan of tossing sparkles at anybody.
Yeah.
So, my ex-girlfriend has a glitter phobia. Right? How she ended up with me, I don't know. Well, I do know, but that's
neither here nor there.
But yeah, apparently, like a tiny flake of metal from like I think she said a swing set, got in her eye as a kid, and she's been terrified of glitter ever since. Like, this is why it didn't work out. This and the lying and the cheating. Lying. But also the glitter.
Alright, what happens if I go back in here? Is she in the house? No, she's not in the house. There's a scroll of a cannibal god.
Take it, burn it.
Is there anything of... Oh, hey, there's a item worth... There's blood coming out of the bag.
Yeah. Just gonna leave that there.
Yeah.
Stain anywhere you set it down.
Alright, I'm gonna kill the dog first. So that he stopped doing the
thing.
vomiting water on me. There we go. No more dog water vomit.
Somebody was not drinking out of the water bowl very, like, slowly, carefully. Just whacked it all up. It's gotta go somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Alright, you should probably heal yourself.
Dog's like, did you know you could get poisoned by water?
Well, so there's... Oh, hey, I'm poisoned. Mazel tov. You can heal yourself in Fallout by drinking water. If it's not purified water, it'll give you radiation. But you can drink from any source that you would expect to give you water. So like water fountains, toilets. And so, like, there's a comic that gets posted around. It's like a Fallout character who gets the shit kicked out of him in combat. He's, like, missing an arm, like, blood pouring from his face. And he just starts drinking from a toilet. And there's a raider who's just, like, watching him do this as he walks out. And he's fully healed. And, it's like, and he just walks over and flushes the toilet. Like, oh, yeah. Not a very thrilling battle theme. Yeah.
I really need a second season of Fallout. Just saying. Yuck, yuck. Okay, nobody could get away with that except Goofy.
All right, I'm gonna save again because we're about out of time. And it's funny because there's a meme that I've posted. That was a pop.
Mm-hmm.
Of Goofy looking very scorned and serious. It's like, yes, Max. Your dad doesn't just sleep with women or something. He doesn't just hook. He yucks. And I'm just like, fuck. That's the joke. But fuck. Anyway.
I just, yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I've posted it to the Discord. I'm gonna check a little bit later and see if I can find it.
Just of all of the things I have learned in my very middle number of years on the planet, I never wanted to know that Goofy was DDF. It's not. I'm sure it's not what Max wants to know because I know what it's like finding out that your parents are dead to fuck.
Light posted that just now. When you're half asleep and your body pulls that fake fall on you.
I hate it, and it would do that to me all the time in the car, which was extra terrifying.
Yeah. I remember once, when I was a kid, we went to the beach. And we were at the beach all day, and I remember driving home, and it was just at sunset. And I was fucking exhausted, because I was like 10 or 11 years old. And I'd spent the entire time in the water. And I'm laying there, like, just sitting in the back seat, trying to fall asleep. But my body kept feeling like it was in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't fall asleep because, like, and like as a kid, my parents were actually, they would joke that they were worried I'd never get my driver's license because every time I got in a car, I just passed the fuck out. Like, I passed out hard. And so, like, the fact that I couldn't sleep during this was, like, Mom was like, "Are you all right?" And, like, I just feel like I'm still in the water. And she's like, "Oh, yeah, that's a feeling."
Yeah.
And so it's like, I'd kind of close my eyes and I'd lean back a little bit and I'd feel like it had that same kind of feeling of like when a wave kind of hits you and you're kind of like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh God.
No, there's been more than a few times on the drives to and from Kentucky where I am exhausted after that drive, but I can't lay down yet. I can't sit down yet.
Because you still have the feeling of, yeah.
And like I can feel the rumble underneath of me, and I can't.
Yeah.
It sucks. I got home from Kentucky at one point, and I crawled into bed and just cried. Because I couldn't sleep, and I was so tired. Yeah. It's...
Human body, it's a fucking nightmare, isn't it?
It really is. I had an appointment at the pain clinic today, which is always a super fun experience. Although I did get an actual physical examination, which is the first time it's happened at that office. Anyway, I got home and I sat down on the bed. I was getting ready to take a nap, kicking off my shoes and taking off my socks. I was like, body just feels like shit. And I go, and it's going to for the rest of my life. I was like, fuck it, I have some Lyrica. I'm going to bed.
Benign personal vertigo feels like that all the time. Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's why I've never really, I've never really doubted or questioned or, had anything other than sympathy for people who have vertigo. Because it's like, I've experienced some weird motion-related shit before. It's like, people who have that all the fucking time or have it work, it's like, nope,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. That sucks to be you so much.
Yeah.
That is just a fucking nightmare.
Yeah. Don't like it.
No, sir. Don't like it.
Fucking bodies.
Yeah.
Incorporeal entity of bodies.
Why can't we have cyborg bodies yet? Turn this shit into Ghost in the Shell up in here.
I mean,
I want to upload one of the first
at
episodes.
least then I could actually fix things that are wrong with me.
One of the first episodes is a guy uploads his brain into that of an experimental military tank. And he's just trying to get home to say goodbye to his parents. He can't say goodbye because he's a fucking tank. But, this tank breaks out of a military complex and no one can figure out why until the main character's like, there's a human brain inside this tank and you guys didn't think to stop that? It's not just like a physical, it's just because you can...
Consciousness.
Yeah, the consciousness.
But really, maybe your experimental shape should be on better lockdown than that.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in to the live stream. This has been an evening to remember. Weirdness. I picked this game because we're in the spoopy month. It's the second spoopy month, or second spoopy game. We did Ghouls and Ghosts and Goblins and things last week, so I'm gonna keep doing more spoopy stuff. So stick with.
Happy second of spoopy month.
Yeah, stick with us. The spoopy month gets better. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm gonna find some more spoopy games.
So the getting better is honestly on us and not necessarily on the games.
Yeah, hopefully.
We gotta step up our game.
Literally. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back next week, same hat time, same hat channel, Wednesday 7:30 Eastern for another live stream. If I have to cancel for whatever reason, I will post about it in the Discord. So go check that
Discord
in the link in the video description. I've got Unicorn Overlord going up during the week. I have been recording a lot more. I just need to actually edit more. Whenever work stops kicking my ass and gives me a chance to just sit and edit more, I will take that opportunity. But thank you all for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed it. We'll see you next week. So till then, stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, wear a mask.
Make sure you are registered to vote.
Make sure you're registered to vote.
Check multiple times to make sure you haven't been purged. When early voting starts, vote then, because then you don't have to deal with crowds.
Yeah, fuck people. Vote. Rowan agrees with me.
That's how the Republicans have been doing since 1970. Anyway, yes, just make sure you're registered. Please.
Yeah, go check it out. There's several places you can check to see if you're registered. I actually did just to make sure I was registered in this state, even though I voted in every major election in the last, 10 years, if not longer.
Yeah.
I double checked just to make sure.
I work for the Board of Elections and I double check.
Yeah.
So
double check. And then, also stay safe with all the crazy weather because the western half of our state just got fucking decimated. And there's talk of another tropical shit show coming up. So stay safe if you can. But yeah, and in the meantime, we'll see you next week. So, bye, everyone.
be like Obi-Wan. Maintain the high ground.
Maintain the ground.